Hello, and welcome to the second video on the Cheesecake the Clown Show. This will be my first real video, so you could also consider it my first official video, despite me giving that title to my intro video. But whatever the title, this will be the first video in which I'm talking about something other than the introduction of this channel, so hooray! Now, to start simple, today I'm just going to do a simple little list video, talking about some fun home features that I just don't see as often anymore, but I think we should. I'm not going to be including rooms or furniture. It's going to focus more on built-in features of the home. But don't worry, if you're interested in that sort of thing, I will most likely be doing videos on those particular topics as well in the future. This is a fairly eclectic list, and there is no particular order, so take it however you like. Anyways, let's get into it. At number 1, we have the transom window. In old houses, you may find windows above the doorway in interior and exterior doors. Now, these features weren't just for looks, they had two very important purposes. The first being to spread natural light from the exterior rooms to the interior rooms, so that if you were in a deeper room of the house, you wouldn't be living in darkness. Now, of course, these windows were still built after the advent of electricity and even the gas lamp, but people still like natural light, funnily enough. It's also good for you. This is your reminder to go outside. After you watch the video, though. Now, aside from just letting natural light in, these windows were also usually able to be opened so that they could circulate fresh air throughout the house. And as you know, or at least should know, heat rises. So, if you were in a room, the heat in that room wouldn't just build up, but instead go through the window and circulate the rest of the home, creating a much more comfortable living experience. Hey, editing me here. I just wanted to mention that while this may be more of a summer thing, these can also be used during winter. Say you have just a few fireplaces or furnaces in your home. Simply open up the transom windows and all that heat will circulate throughout the house, heating the whole place up. Of course, this also works in reverse. If you want to keep the heat in just one room, you close the transom windows, but that's not as interesting as just a normal wall would also do that. Either way, I thought I should just mention that as I think it's pretty neat. Anyways, back to the video. All in all, transom windows are a pretty neat feature in my opinion, serving multiple functions and also just kind of looking nice. They, however, have been lost to time, as at least I don't ever see them in newer homes. Moving on to number 2, we have niches, or as some people pronounce it, niches. I personally pronounce it niches, but I don't feel like looking up the proper pronunciation, so if it's niches, feel free to let me know in the comments. There are simply not enough niches in homes. They create wonderful spaces to put things, and they also make your walls less flat. They can be anything from simple indents in the walls to detailed little ornamented archways set into your wall with a shelf. They're great for displaying stuff or even just storing things, but they don't get put into new homes, at least not to my knowledge. Maybe they do. Maybe I don't look at enough new homes. But I'm of the opinion that they don't seem to put them in new homes as much, which is sad because they're neat. Anyways, moving on again. We have nooks. Now you may think that a niche and a nook is the same, but if you thought that, you would be dumb and also stupid. A niche is an alcove set in the wall that you put things, but a nook is a larger, but still small and cozy space that you can put yourself. That is at least how I would describe it. If you want to challenge that definition, feel free to put that in the comments as well. Window seats, little reading nooks, under the stair spaces, all sorts of little cozy spaces that you can shove yourself into and pretend not to exist for an extended period of time. And yet modern homes usually just consist of perfectly square or rectangular rooms without any little nooks to hide from reality in. It's a sad thing that nooks have disappeared, but I think we should bring them back as they're very useful for disassociating and also being cozy in. I mean, think about it. Don't you want to curl up in a little space of cushions and pillows and maybe some fairy lights with some warm drinks and a book and just stay there for a few hours? You want that, don't you? But you can't, because your house is boring and flat. Which is why we need to bring them back, for the joy of all. Anyways, moving on to number 4, specialized storage. Now this category is fairly broad. It can cover anything from broom closets, linen cabinets, even those rolling pin drawers that you see in old homes. But they all share one thing in common. They are specialized. They serve a special purpose for specific items or specific sets of items. Modern homes seem to lack these spaces. Linens get shoved into drawers or in hutches. Brooms get just leaned against walls in kitchens, and cleaning stuff goes under the sink, which isn't a bad place for them, but still. And all the other little extra stuff that you have just gets shoved into random drawers and forgotten about, which I think is boring and sad. But these specialized storage spaces help organize and store all of this stuff into a nice, organized, and neat place. It also prevents people from just storing their brooms and mops leaned up against a wall in their kitchen, which makes me sick to see. I don't want to see it, you don't want to see it, so get it out of my sight before I get rid of it and you permanently. Anyways, moving on. Our final category is number 5, stained glass. Stained glass doesn't really serve a specific functional purpose, but it looks nice, and I wanted to include it because I don't see other people talking about it nearly as much as they should. Seriously, when was the last time you saw a newer home that had built-in stained glass windows? I'm not talking about those sticker sheets that people put up on their windows. I'm talking about real stained glass. I never see that sort of thing. I only see that sort of thing in older homes. But it doesn't mean that it's a not good feature. It's a wonderful feature. Stained glass adds color and character to the home. And yet it is left out constantly. The reason why is simple. Stained glass is probably expensive and unnecessary. So it gets cut out of newer build homes. But it shouldn't. It's wonderful and I love it. It adds so much character and charm to a home, and I think it should be included. Also, funnily enough, that whole thing about it not having much of a purpose besides aesthetics is actually incorrect. You can't see through it very easily, so, similar to frosted glass, you could be used for privacy screening. Now, it doesn't have to be used for that, and I personally think it could be used anywhere and everywhere, but that's just a little thing that it can be used for that's actually a purpose and not just looking nice. Anyways, we have reached the end of our current list. That is, of course, not nearly the entire list of home features that have been lost to time, but it is the full list of features that I want to cover in today's video. If you have any other specific features that you would like to see, I would be happy to do a part 2 of this video, so leave those suggestions in the comments below. I'm also planning a sister video of this video covering features of homes that I'm glad we got rid of, because I think that's a topic that isn't talked about as much. Despite my love for old antique homes, there are definitely features that are better left in the past, and I don't think people talk about that as much. So stay tuned for that as well. Anyways, thank you for taking your time to join me through this walkthrough of old home features that have been lost to time. This has been the Cheesecake the Clown Show. I'm your host, Cheesecake the Clown, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a wonderful day.